Today we're going to broach a little more controversial subject, and we're going to do some bit lunging. This is something that I would say the majority of trainers do, but it can have a little bit of a bad reputation if people use it the wrong way. We want our bit lunging to be a teaching tool. We're not going to do this to try and conquer this horse or get some sort of submissive behavior. What we're just looking for is this horse to better understand how to use themselves, develop some work ethic, and teach this horse how to carry themselves and how they should respond to the bit. There's a little tool I like to use. It's really easy. It's just a cotton rope with 2 snaps on it and another rope. The dimensions are real easy. Each one of these to the snap is 4 foot long, and then my leftover tie is also 4 foot long, or thereabouts. What I'm going to do is use this rope to turn this snaffle bit into a gag. And how I do is I come through the bit from the inside to the outside, behind the ears, over the pole, and I snap it up to the opposite side of the bit. A lot of you have done this when you've lunged a horse in a snaffle bit, and it's how you'll thread your lunge line through if you're lunging them on a lunge line. I'm going to come through the other way. This is my buddy too. This is a 2-year-old. His name's Bruh. And I really do, I love this horse. So now that I've got that rigged up, if I want to introduce one that doesn't know to some pressure, I can simply pull on that and make sure that he's giving. The benefits of going this way over a hard rein is some people tie off with a straight rein or use side reins. And what that's going to have is it's going to have a hard hit. As that horse goes into that bit, it's going to kind of whack that horse. And when people use that for their lunging technique, what that horse will do is they'll hit that bit, kind of shake off of it and let go of it real big. Hit it again, it kind of knocks them and they let go really big. This technique using the rope, it only is ever going to tighten or loosen. And my expectations are that this horse will learn how to just gently sit behind that pressure. I'm going to come down just to my cinch ring, figure out about my tension as best I can. I may have to start and stop a time or two as this horse learns. And I think that's about good. We'll see. I might tighten it just one tiny little bit more. And what I really like to look for is when that horse is comfortably off of that bit, I'd love it if their nose is about 1 inch behind the vertical and their top line of their neck is just an inch or so below the wither when that horse is comfortably carrying themselves. As they're fresh, they might start up higher, but they'll learn to go lower. A lot of people, when they lunge their horses, look for a lot of activity. I look for boredom. Horse training is supposed to be boring. So I'm not going to do all that stepping out in front of this horse and turning him the opposite direction and all that stuff for a couple of reasons. One, I'm trying to train this animal to have work ethic. So what I want him to do is relax into his job, move his feet, and move his feet with a rhythm that I control. Now, admittedly, this job would be a lot more fun if I was stepping out in front of him, rolling him back, turning him the other way. But if I do all of that, I'm doing my horse an injustice in 2 ways. Number one, I'm really increasing his chances of injury. The other part of it is I'm training that horse to have an explosive energy. If that's your lunging technique, when you come into the round pen every day, that horse is going to be tense, they're going to be looking to explode, and they're going to have 5 minutes of huge activity followed by exhaustion. I want my horses to know how to trickle their energy out over the course of the ride, just like a battery would work, and they just slowly release that energy through the course of that ride. So he's been pretty good, and if you watch, every time he picks that head up or puts a little more tension on that bit, he just softly goes back to the next place where he figures out how to get just a little bit of slack in those ropes. And over time, he'll learn where that spot is more and more. And that's what I love about this bitting technique. One, the safety of it. There's no hard rein that he could potentially lock his jaw against. There's no way he can pinch his tongue with that bit, because any pressure that he puts on it is going to stretch his lips up towards his ears and not increase the pressure on his jaw or his tongue. So very, very, very safe way to bit a horse if it's done properly. And again, you can see I keep that whip moving the whole time. I'm not going to be lazy, stand in the middle, let the horse go around me. I want this horse to know I'm controlling the rhythm of his feet. You see they slowed down a little bit, so I might build my rhythm and push on him. It's a lot of work to lunge a horse properly. I'm also working towards that horse's tail, and I'm sort of smushing him around that round pen, keeping him out, keeping him going. And for whatever reason, the magic number for lunging a horse is 20 minutes. Almost any horse, if you do 10 minutes each direction, that horse is going to really, really relax in, move their feet well, and you're going to accomplish that goal of just creating work ethic. And I'm loving how this horse is working right here. Now I'm going to go over, even though we've only been a couple minutes, we're obviously not going to do the whole 20 minutes here, how I do ask this horse to stop. So what I'm going to do is pick the spot I want him to stop, more or less. I don't use a lot of voice commands. I'll hit that quick. I'm not going to try and teach this horse like lope off of voice commands or walk or anything like that, because those are commands I can't enforce. So if I start asking this horse to walk and he wants to keep trotting or break to a lope, there's not a lot I can do about it. So I'm more just focus on what I can teach that horse and what I can accomplish. And that's just move your feet, drive forward, be relaxed. So what I'm going to do, I'll ask him to stop by the gate, and I'll simply say whoa and back up. So as I backed away, if this colt had continued to go, I would have backed up to a place where I was now in front of him, and that would have stopped him. I prefer that. I just simply broke pressure and allowed that horse to stop, rather than try and step out in front of him, which is stopping him with an increase of pressure. So I controlled the movement of his feet, I controlled his tempo, and when I broke that pressure, he's allowed to stop. And I'll let them sit there a while, enjoy that little bit of a break, and then simply step out, step around them, go the other way, and move them off that new direction. Push on them. These youngsters, I seldom ask them to lope, although if they're a little fresh and they do lope, I'm not afraid to keep them loping a little bit. But the majority of the work that I want to get done of building that work ethic and establishing that rhythm, I'm going to get done at the trot. A good working trot. Now, a couple times this horse, he's checked just a little bit, and I'll go over the psychology of that. If we don't train our horses, they are going to train us. Every single person that comes into contact with that horse is training that horse, whether they know it or not, from the moment they step into its proximity until the moment they leave. From the moment you grab your horse out of the stall till the moment you put him back, you are training that horse whether you know it or not. So some of these horses will check, so he'll be going along with a good rhythm, and all of a sudden he'll suck back. Now he's not going to do it. But a lot of handlers, when that horse checks, they check. Well, then they go back and step up and push that horse again. Well, then that horse checks again and they check again. And then they back off of that horse. So the horse starts to learn, hey, if I check, they'll check. I can train this person. And then the horse starts to check harder, and it can even get to the point where the horse just slams on brakes, starts rearing or running backwards, all in the service of trying to intimidate that handler. So to me, really, really important. Move your feet, go to work. I really actually want them to shut their brain off, move their feet, develop a good work ethic, and become soft and relaxed, which he's doing pretty darn good for a youngster.